Beyoncé might rule the stage, but when it comes to business, fans are saying Kim Kardashian is leaving her in the dust. Ivy Park just fizzled out with Adidas after underwhelming sales, while Kim's Skims has exploded into a $4 billion empire. Tonight, we're breaking down how Beyoncé's goddess-like mystique clashes with modern marketing, why her brands keep vanishing, and how Kim turned relatability into billion-dollar power moves. Beyoncé's Ivy Park collaboration with Adidas was once hyped as a fashion takeover. Launched with bold campaigns and massive expectations, Adidas projected Ivy Park would pull in a staggering $250 million. But reality painted a different story. Reports revealed that in 2022, Ivy Park only managed around $40 million in sales. Barely a fraction of the forecast. And when you're Beyoncé, numbers like that aren't just disappointing, they're headline-making. The partnership officially ended in early 2023. What was marketed as a groundbreaking union of superstar power and global sportswear collapsed quietly, with Adidas confirming the split. Instead of being the next Nike, Ivy Park was suddenly being compared to clearance rack markdowns. So the question is, how does a woman who sells out stadiums worldwide struggle to sell leggings in stores? Fans and critics alike started asking, was this a failure of the brand itself, a marketing misstep, or a sign that Beyoncé's business strategy simply doesn't connect with today's consumer? For a star of her caliber, the stakes were enormous, and the flop was impossible to ignore. And that's where the bigger picture comes in, because Ivy Park isn't Beyoncé's first stumble in business, and it definitely wasn't her last. When it comes to music, Beyoncé's record speaks for itself. Her Renaissance tour grossed over $579 million worldwide, proving she's still one of the most powerful performers alive. She doesn't just perform shows, she creates cultural events. A single photo from her tour can break the internet, and ticket demand is so high that venues sell out before Ticketmaster even refreshes. So on stage, she's untouchable. But what happens when she steps off the stage? That's where the story shifts. Beyoncé's business ventures have a much weaker track record compared to her music. House of Derayon, the fashion brand she launched with her mother Tina Knowles in 2004, promised to make Beyoncé a household name in fashion. Despite early hype, the line was criticized for chasing trends instead of setting them. By 2012, it had quietly disappeared from US shelves. And unfortunately, that pattern would repeat itself again and again. Take her wellness venture, 22 Days. Nutrition, a vegan meal plan launched in collaboration with her trainer Marco Borges. Marketed as the secret to her Coachella body, it grabbed attention at first, but dietitians slammed it as restrictive and unrealistic, while customers complained about tiny portions and high prices. The buzz dried up, and soon after, the brand faded from conversation. Even her perfume empire, which once looked unstoppable, couldn't escape the slump. Back in 2010, her fragrance Heat was a smash hit, reportedly selling millions of bottles worldwide and becoming one of the top celebrity perfumes of its time. But lightning didn't strike twice. Subsequent releases failed to capture the same excitement, and by 2013, many of her perfumes were discounted in drugstores. What started as a booming line became another case of early hype followed by decline. So why is this so important? Because the contrast with her music is shocking. Beyoncé can sell out stadiums with no promo, but her businesses can't survive without it. She rules the music world with silence, mystery, and surprise. But in business, silence equals invisibility. Fans love her artistry, but when it comes to products, they don't feel the same connection. That disconnect explains why her businesses, no matter how hyped at launch, often stumble in the long run. And that brings us to Kim Kardashian, because while Beyoncé struggles off stage, Kim thrives by making her life the business. Enter Kim Kardashian, who's flipped her reality TV fame into a billion-dollar empire. Her brand Skims isn't just a hit, it's a global juggernaut valued at over $4 billion. In 2023 alone, it generated $1 billion in sales, proving it's not a passing trend but a cultural force. And the key difference, Kim has positioned herself as more than a celebrity, she's a hands-on mogul. Skims has secured partnerships with the NBA, Team USA at the Olympics, and luxury fashion houses. Every restock sells out, every collaboration trends on social media, and Wall Street is even watching closely. Kim didn't just create a brand, she created a movement. Which begs the question, what exactly is Kim doing right that Beyoncé keeps getting wrong? Beyoncé's campaigns are legendary. Her Ivy Park rollouts looked like movie trailers, horses running through deserts, smoke machines, and elaborate visuals. They were gorgeous, no doubt, but they often felt distant, more like art exhibits than wearable clothing promotions. Meanwhile, Kim's strategy couldn't be more different. Instead of polished productions, Kim records herself casually in her bathroom mirror, showing the stretch of Skims fabric, or how it fits under everyday outfits. These lo-fi videos feel personal, real, and achievable. Exactly the kind of marketing that thrives on Instagram and TikTok. And in today's social media-driven world, relatability beats perfection every single time. Beyoncé has always cultivated mystique. She rarely does interviews, keeps her personal life private, and presents herself as untouchable, a goddess figure. That aura works brilliantly for music, creating anticipation and excitement around her artistry. But in business, that very mystique creates a problem. Consumers today crave relatability. They want founders who are present, vulnerable, and accessible. Kim thrives on this. She overshares, she posts daily, and she puts herself inside her brands. Beyoncé's distance, by contrast, makes her products feel detached and less believable. And that disconnect shows up loud and clear when you look at the sales charts. Fans often complain that Beyoncé doesn't look like she actually uses her own products. Ivy Park campaigns showed her in elaborate, almost cinematic scenarios, but never in everyday wear. Once the rollout ended, the products seemed to vanish along with her. Kim, on the other hand, lives in her brand. She's constantly seen wearing Skims, whether she's at home, on a flight, or walking the red carpet. That repeated exposure makes the products feel real, worn, and tested. Consumers don't just see a product, they see Kim embodying the lifestyle she's selling. And in today's influencer economy, that's the kind of authenticity people buy into. Rihanna provides another powerful example. With Fenty, she built a brand on inclusivity, humor, and social media savvy. She's visible, she's playful, and she doesn't shy away from controversy. Fans trust her because she shows up authentically. Kim follows that same playbook, and it works. By embracing constant visibility and relatability, Kim has created the same sense of cultural ownership that Rihanna's Fenty commands. Beyoncé, however, avoids PR risks and hides behind polished campaigns. That silence creates distance, while Kim and Rihanna turn presence into profit. And when consumers compare the three, Beyoncé's absence is glaring. When news broke that Ivy Park was underperforming, Beyoncé's Hive immediately defended her. They argued she didn't need to prove herself in business, her artistry speaks for itself. They dismissed critics by pointing to her music legacy, but the internet wasn't letting her off that easy. Critics dragged Ivy Park's clearance racks and compared them to Kim's sold-out restocks. Memes spread, receipts were posted, and the debate became a battle between Hive loyalists and Kim stans. Even neutral fans admitted Kim's consistency in business outshined Beyoncé's track record. And that online narrative only fueled the perception that Beyoncé's business moves can't keep up. Kim's empire is built on modern, direct-to-consumer strategies. She surrounds herself with teams who understand e-commerce, influencer culture, and viral marketing. She leans into collaborations and keeps her brand top of mind globally. Beyoncé's setup, however, looks very different. Her ventures often depend on partnerships with legacy corporations like Adidas, Pepsi, and L'Oreal. These deals look massive, but they also come with risks. Once sales dip, the corporations pull out, leaving her brands unstable. In other words, Beyoncé's businesses depend on others, while Kim's empire depends on herself. And in today's cutthroat market, that independence makes all the difference. At the end of the day, Beyoncé remains unmatched in music. Her cultural impact is iconic, and she could drop an album tomorrow and crash the internet. No one can touch her on stage. But in the business arena, the scoreboard tells a different story. Kim Kardashian has proven herself as a full-fledged mogul. Skims is thriving, partnerships are booming, and she's mastered the art of relatability. The verdict is clear. Beyoncé may be a goddess in music, but Kim is the queen of business. As the video puts it, goddesses don't sell leggings. And in today's market, visibility beats mystique every single time. At the end of the day, this debate isn't about who's the bigger star. We already know Beyoncé reigns supreme when it comes to music and live performance. But when we step into the business world, the scoreboard tells a different story. Kim Kardashian has built a $4 billion empire off relatability, visibility, and consistency, while Beyoncé's ventures often fade away as quickly as they launch. So the lesson here is clear. Mystique may build legends, but relatability builds billion-dollar brands. And now I want to hear from you. Do you think Beyoncé should double down on music and leave business behind? Or does she just need to rethink her strategy and get more personal with her audience? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'll be pinning the best takes. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more celebrity deep dives, and turn on the bell so you don't miss when we drop the next big story. Because in today's culture, the boardroom can be just as savage as the stage, and the receipts never lie.